chickens. Good morning, turkeys.
Morning, Hope. Your head's full of hay. All right, we'll be back out in just a few minutes to milk, okay? Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. Well, this is an exciting day. This is the day we've actually been waiting for since the beginning of last summer. We're about to start on a new project and it has been a long time coming. We've got a pretty nice day today here in the Ozarks for the winter time. Where I'm standing, it's about almost 50 degrees, but apparently right next to me here, there must be a cold front. It's only about 20 degrees.
I don't like to be cold. I want my hat and my nice coat on. I got my boots on. It's cold right here.
Well, I think it's pretty nice out. We're going to get some work done today. We've got some exciting things. Let's walk around a little bit. We're going to show you what we're up to. So for those of you who are fairly new to our channel, this is our greenhouse. We ordered this greenhouse about 2 years ago. We actually put it up 2 winters ago. We ordered this from a company called growersolution.com and we love it. It has been probably the best investment we've made on the homestead. Maybe not quite as good as my tractor, but darn close.
The main purpose for this greenhouse is to help us start our seeds for the garden, and we also do a lot of selling in the spring of plant starts at our local farmers market. But because we absolutely need this greenhouse for the springtime planting, we haven't really been able to use it much for growing the rest of the year, not for in-ground growing or any raised beds.
So early last summer, we actually got a second greenhouse just like this. In fact, exactly like this. We liked this one so much we figured why mess with a good thing? So I think it was last July that we had the second one delivered. Our plan was actually to get it put up last summer, but between our daughter being in a car accident and other things just coming up, it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But now is the time that we're finally going to get started on it. Now these kits from growersolution.com are amazing. Their prices on these are, I mean, for a small family homestead like ours, they make it so reasonable to purchase the entire kit.
Another nice thing about these kits is they really are easy enough to put up just by 2 people. And even though we had some friends help us on and off with this project when we first put up this one, it was definitely easy enough for Kevin and I to do by ourselves.
Right, yeah, this time we don't feel intimidated at all. Putting up the second one, it's going to be a great project. So let's take a little walk around. We'll show you guys some of the planning that went into where we're going to put the second one, and then we need to get some work done today. So when we originally started planning for the second greenhouse, we really took a good look at our property. Now, there are certain criteria that we knew right off the bat we needed for this greenhouse. I don't know if it's obvious on YouTube, but our property is pretty much on a hill. Pretty much most of our property is at a pretty good slant. Only this front part of our property is fairly level. It's still not level, but it's the best that we have on the entire place. So we knew it needed to be somewhere toward the front of our property, which, you know, is all of this, you know, front area of our property. So that was a no-brainer right there. We knew it couldn't be back further, you know, away from the house and everything like that. So our original plan was to put it over here closer to our summer garden. This is our summer garden behind me, and then we have our big metal barn back there, and our plan was to put it kind of on the other side of this garden and behind the barn. That's a fairly flat area. The ground isn't super rocky there, and we thought that that might be the perfect spot. But after we took some time to really start thinking about it, we realized there were some drawbacks to having it in that location. So the first thing that we realized is that that's pretty far from the house. Now that may not sound like a big deal right off the bat, but here's the thing. Because we're going to use this one for growing over the winter, we know that a lot of times it's going to be pretty cold and windy and icy and things out. And the further it is from the house, the less likely we are to want to go out there. So we knew we wanted to have this one fairly close to the house. So that was the first strike against this spot. And then the second and probably most important thing was lack of water. We don't have a good source of water out here, especially in the winter when we can't run hoses and things. So we really needed a spot that we could have better access to water. So we decided not to put it down in this area.
So we considered other spots further back in the property. Like Kevin had said, the pitch here goes kind of slanted toward a holler that's back there. So that was one strike against kind of farther back in the property. Also back here, there are a lot more trees that we would have had to cut down just to prevent limbs and things from potentially falling off during windstorms. There's no electricity back here. We'd have to do some major work with electrical cords and those kinds of things, and like before, there's no water. So the privacy back here would have been really nice. It's quite a bit farther away from the front of our property, but a lot of the other reasons we decided back here just isn't the way to go.
So we think that we finally found the right spot to put the new greenhouse, and that is right here behind me. There's only one problem, and that is that this is currently our turkey pen. But this spot actually is perfect. I guess we thought it was good the first time too, because we're actually going to end up putting this one right next to the current greenhouse. Now, we built this pen originally for our chickens when we first moved here. We had a lot more chickens than we do now, and so this pen was originally built for them. So this pen is actually divided into two sections right now. So let's take a walk up. I'll show you our plan so that really the turkeys aren't going to lose any room at all. It's just going to be reconfigured so we can fit the turkeys and the greenhouse in this area. So this barn behind me, you guys see this barn in a lot of our videos, but you may have never actually seen it like this from the back. So let me show you or kind of explain to you how this is divided. This barn is actually divided into three sections along the front. This section over here is where we raise our broiler chicks when we first get them. And then in the middle is where I have my quail. And then on the end down there is where the turkeys go at night. Now, our original plan when we built this whole big pen area was that we would raise the broiler chicks and then let them out into this area to raise them up. But now that we raise all of our broilers in tractors, this section over here really never gets used. So it's just kind of wasted space. So today we're going to start reconfiguring this area for the turkeys. We're actually going to take down this center fence, and we're going to extend this piece here straight across to the other side, and the turkeys will have all of this area up here on both of these sides. So they'll actually, I don't think, lose much space at all. They'll end up with a pen that's just about the size that they have now. It'll just be shorter and wider. Then we're going to take down this entire section back here and start prepping the ground for the greenhouse. I don't know if we're going to get it all done today, but we're going to try our hardest to get all of this fence taken down today. Let's get to work. So the first thing we're going to do is take out two of these T-posts from the center section. so that we can reconfigure this into the new back wall. So we just need to take off the T-post clips that are here, and I'll take out 2 of these T-posts. Okay, so now that I've got those clips off and the fence is disconnected, we're going to pull out 2 of these T-posts. Now, if you're going to have a homestead and you're going to be putting in a lot of fences, a T-post puller is something you have to have. I don't know who invented this, but they were a smart person. Basically, all it does is ratchets onto the T-post. And then you can just pull them right out of the ground. Makes life so much easier than trying to pull them all by hand. So I'm going to pull the other one out, and then we're going to just start reconfiguring this fence. Alright, so we're going to cut this here at 14.5 feet, which is an extra foot, just so we don't make any mistakes. Now, if you guys are doing a lot of work with this welded wire, I really like these end cutting wire cutters, because you can get nice and close and you don't leave so many sharp edges. So we're just going to cut these off, and we'll be able to move it over to the other side. Did you know the very first YouTube video we ever did was building this pen right here? If you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out. We'll try to leave a link to it, but I'm not saying it's a good video, but it was the very first video we ever did, so check that out.
Well, we're about to close this in, but the turkeys are on the wrong side of the pen, so we need to chase them over here.
We need to chase them all the way to the barn.
Keep going. Come on.
Oh, the gate's open. We almost chased them right out the gate. Alright, now we can quick put this piece of fence up.
Is that okay?
I think so. Alright, so we've got this new piece of fence put up. So now this is the end of the turkey pen. So now we need to finish taking down what used to be the center fence over there, so that the turkeys have this whole nice big area.
So we've taken down the center fencing. We were going to show you guys. We had no idea that the battery ran out in the camera. So now we can just show you the end product. It looks very strange. It's been different for so many years that now it's like just weird to see it all one here. And I think it turned out pretty nice. We cleaned up the area too. Now this pen ended up measuring 30 feet by 40 feet. So that's how big the pen is. I think that's just fine for 5 turkeys. This area in the spring and the summer is really nice and filled with grass for them to eat. Right now it looks kind of muddy and gross because it's winter. But actually it grows so well in here that Kevin actually has to mow in here during the summer. So I think this is going to be perfect for them, and it will just make so much sense for us to start working on the greenhouse project back there. So it's still pretty nice out and still pretty warm despite all of my winter gear. So while it's still warm, we're going to start working to take the fencing down back in the old back half of the fenced off area.
So on this last section of fence, there is a lot of stuff growing up on it. So I'm actually going to use my weed torch to try to go down and burn all the stuff before we take the fence down. Now, for those of you who have never seen a weed torch, this thing is awesome. It's basically just a big torch that hooks right to a propane tank, and you can use it to burn weeds. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. This is actually what we use in the garden to burn the holes in the plastic that we use, so that we can plant right through the woven ground cover. So this thing comes in handy a lot, and I'll always have one of these on the homestead. So I'm going to burn this row, and then we're going to get ready to rip down this final row of fence. Plus, you get to play with fire. Well, we got the entire fence done, and we got everything accomplished that we wanted to get today, and we're losing daylight fast. So we're gonna wrap this up. I wanted to show you guys though, we just roped off a little bit of where the greenhouse is going to go so you can get some idea of how it's going to be. You can see there's the existing greenhouse. We've got a 10-foot area between the two, and we're 8 feet back from where the current turkey area is. So I think this is going to be the perfect spot for the new greenhouse. This is where we're going to be able to grow lots of great veggies for the winter.
So you guys, we cannot wait to get this kit up so we can have this second greenhouse. Again, these are from growersolution.com. They make a fabulous product. We did a lot of research before we ended up going with them. They have an amazing product, great price. If you guys want to check them out, if you call, let them know that you heard about them from us. If you go and order online, make sure that you put in the coupon code traditionalist10 to get 10% off your order.
Right, and that includes greenhouses, and that adds up fast when you order a whole greenhouse.
Sure does.
You know, there's a lot of uncertainty coming up in the next few years. We've read a lot about, you know, food shortages. We all know that last spring, a lot of the corn and soybeans and things around the country were unable to be planted. So there are going to be some food shortages, and prices are going to be going up. So this greenhouse is a important project here in our homestead as far as food security goes. We need to start growing even more of our own vegetables. We already grow 100% of our own meat, but we need to be growing even more of our own vegetables, and this greenhouse will be able to let us do that all winter long.
So you guys, if you want to get serious about growing your own food too, make sure that you check out growersolution.com. If you're enjoying our channel and want to see more of this project, you better make sure to hit the subscribe button below and share it with all the people that you know would enjoy what we do here. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.